And that's when I started digging into SEO. I worked out what backlinks are, kind of the secret how Google works. Built a bunch of backlinks to my website. It shot up in the rankings. I got a heap of traffic. I went, wow, this is a lot of fun and really valuable. And man, I've been doing it ever since.
Welcome to the Bulletproof Cashflow podcast. Let's get into the show.
Hey everyone, this is Agostino. Are you trying to build your online reputation? Maybe you're looking to increase conversions through authority marketing and dramatically increase your business, perhaps? Well, to do these things, it all starts with putting together a great website, excellent content, and a way to execute on your plan to get your message out there. Now, today's guest understands some of the struggles that many real estate entrepreneurs face on how to get more investors into their funnel. And then now to that end, he's developed a simple system to get your message in front of your ideal audience. Now, as a CEO and founder of Ardor SEO, he and his team help real estate businesses increase their website traffic. They leverage their know-how to help real estate entrepreneurs reach their ideal audience and turn their underperforming website into a potential investor's dream. Now, with all that, I'd like to welcome Kris Reid to the show. Kris, thanks for coming on, bud.
Thank you, sir. And I tell you, in COVID, what an awesome time it is to be working online. I'm thankfully lucky to be able to work wherever I like. I'm all the way across the ocean in Saigon and Vietnam.
Excellent. Wow, we're going to dig into that because I want to know how you got there. But before we do that, if you like what Kris has to say, you can reach him via his contact page at ardorseo.com. Okay, Kris, tell listeners a little bit more about your journey. Like how and why are you in Vietnam right now?
Sure. So you probably can tell from my funny accent that I don't sound too Vietnamese. I'm originally from Brisbane, Australia, and I studied software engineering at university. And as a computer geek, there's two ways you can make money. You can move to Silicon Valley and work for a tech startup, or you take the finance route, which is what I did. I moved to London, worked for a bunch of billionaires, making them richer, which is kind of soul-destroying work, but you make enough money that you learn to forget about it. It was pretty cool. I was in my 20s. I got paid loads of money. I had Paris and Amsterdam, Berlin to go party in the weekends. Man, my ego was as big as the sun. I was untouchable. Until the global financial crisis came around and kicked my ass. I lost my job, and so did everyone I knew. I whimpered back to Australia with my tail between my legs. I'm like, what the hell am I going to do with my life? I'm in my mid-20s and my career is over already. And so it led me to build an online game. I just did that because I was a geek and I had no job. And then I was like, well, how the heck do you get people to a website to play this damn game? And that's when I started digging into SEO. I worked out what backlinks are, kind of the secret how Google works. Built a bunch of backlinks to my website. It shot up in the rankings. I got a heap of traffic. I went, wow, this is a lot of fun and really valuable. And man, I've been doing it ever since.
Wow, that's awesome. Excellent. So, it's funny because I had a very similar sort of thing, right? Back in 2008 or before 2008, I was an executive at some big publicly traded company, young guy, loads of money. And I thought the same thing. I was untouchable until 2008 hit. And then you're riffed. You're out in the street, and yeah, I know what that's like, man. I mean, but that's why we do real estate now. So I don't have to worry about such things anymore. I don't have to deal with that crap.
For sure. Like when COVID came around, I was, oh God, what's going to happen to the world economy? I got a little bit scared, and 2020 was our best year ever by a long shot. I was like, wow, this can keep going, and 2021 is beating that. Like, it's a great time to be working online and not have to worry about, all the fear in the world.
Yeah, and so far I've done my biggest deal of my life in 2020. So it's like 2020 wasn't all that bad. It was okay. It ended up all right, and 2021 is going to be even bigger. It's going to be even bigger. So it sounds to me though that you kind of fell into the whole marketing thing by accident, right? You kind of figured it out with all these backlinks and in terms of how to drive traffic to your website. Now I guess for those that don't really understand it, how and why is marketing important for real estate entrepreneurs? Let's start with that.
Yeah, well, most people don't understand it. Most web designers don't understand it. Most websites suck. Most websites generate zero business. I talk to real estate professionals all the time, and they've spent plenty of money on their websites, and they all suck. Some big names that even have big podcasts. And it's like, man, you spend a lot of effort on this podcast. If you just SEO optimized your website, it'd power growth so much faster. So how you really need to do marketing, any form of marketing, it needs to start with understanding your customer avatar. Who the hell are they and what are they looking for? Once you understand that, that's when you start doing keyword research. You work out what they're actually typing into Google. What is the problem that they're looking for? For a multifamily syndicator, often you're looking for investors. That's generally what people are looking for. And usually the minimum investment is $50,000. So a really great keyword for you guys is how to invest $50,000. Because you're pretty sure that someone that's searching how to invest $50,000, well, they got $50K they want to invest. Someone that's searching how to invest $500,000, the search volume is less, but that's a bigger deal. And you can be sure that person's an accredited investor. So that's really what you're after. So once you know all of the keywords that your potential customers are searching for, that dictates everything. How you structure your website, how you write your content, and how you set your title tags, your descriptions, your headers, everything. Then it's a matter of proving to Google that you're a trusted authority. Because anyone can write any crap they want on the internet, and Google has to filter this crap out. They have to try and work out who's legit and who's a Nigerian prince and trying to steal your money. And so especially when it comes to big investments, they want to make sure that you're legitimate. And I briefly mentioned it earlier. They do that through what's called backlinks. So a backlink is pretty simple. It's just a link from one website to another, back to you. That's why it's called a backlink. And that's how Google trusts you, because they can't implicitly trust what you say. They have to trust what everyone else is saying about you. And they do that by who's linking to you. So the more links you have coming from other real estate websites or partner websites you work with, the more trust you have. The bigger, the better the website, the better that backlink is, but the more niche relevant. So if you're in some little pokey town, the more links you have from that little pokey town will really help you rank in there because it's very niche relevant. So that's the secret of ranking in Google.
Excellent. So I think it also seems that if you have, like, say, a lot of links coming from one place to you, that's not going to matter a whole lot. But if you have a lot of other websites that all link back to your website, and those websites are also, I guess, fairly popular too, that amplifies your website. So it's almost like it sounds like a little bit like a tree almost, right? Where it just explodes outward.
Well, Google's trying to look at the internet as a whole, not one thing it's not looking at one page at a time. So how it works out what to rank any page on your website for is about what's your whole general website about. If you've got content that's not relevant at all, it needs to be very relevant. So a good example of that, one of our clients who's a luxury realtor in Atlanta, Brookhaven and Buckhead are the two fanciest places in Atlanta, I believe. I've never been there, but I know a bit of Atlanta geography because of clients. But so she can only have one page that focuses on luxury real estate, Brookhaven and another on Buckhead or whatever they are. And you can't just keep building content about those same things, because otherwise you get what's called keyword cannibalization, and those pages start competing with each other and then none of them rank. But you need to build up your relevancy around the topic. So so that's called informational content. And really good informational content for realtors are things like, what's the crime rate in Atlanta, cost of living in Atlanta, how to relocate to Atlanta, what's the best schools in Atlanta. And so this builds up your relevancy. Sure, they are keywords that someone who's potentially moving to Atlanta is searching for. So it's never going to convert as well as luxury real estate Atlanta. That's your ideal customer and exactly what they're searching for. But generally, these keywords are very easy to rank for. You get some traffic and you can feed them over to your money pages. But the main purpose is to build up your overall relevancy. So Google sees when someone's searching for something to do with houses in Atlanta, boom, you're the man, and up you come in the rankings.
Excellent. Wow. I mean, certainly very different than how marketing was or has been done, I'd say 15 years ago, probably even less than that, really. But why do you think marketing today is a total waste of money and time?
Well, a lot of it is because people do it wrong, but digital marketing kicks the crap out of any other form of marketing. I don't know why people spend money on radio ads or TV ads or newspaper ads. You don't know how many people saw your ad. That's really, really hard to measure how many people took action. All digital marketing, whether it be Facebook ads or YouTube ads or even Google ads, It's very measurable. You can see exactly how many people saw your ad, how many clicked on it, what your conversion rate is. And you can burn through money really quickly, but you can see how it is. It's very measurable. But the one thing that SEO has over all of those other forms of marketing is that it's compounding. Google ads or Facebook ads, you stop spending, you stop getting immediately. And it's only ever going to get more expensive and more competitive. SEO, though, the work that you did last year, you get this year and you get next year. It just keeps snowballing and bigger. And as your authority builds up, Google trusts you more and it's easier to rank for everything. SEO is like a freight train. It's really hard to start. Getting it off the ground takes a lot of work and a lot of commitment. But man, once it's growing, it just gets bigger and bigger and moves faster and faster. It's that exponential growth that makes it a hell of an investment.
Now with SEO though, do you have to also account for like changes to the algorithm of these various companies? Because Facebook, YouTube, Google, all these guys, from I've heard that they'll go ahead and change something in their algorithm. Next thing you know, you have to go back and you're going to have to modify your stuff just to try to keep up. Is that a thing that you have to be concerned with?
So Google has an army of software engineers, and if you try and fool them, like, they're going to find out eventually. They're the smartest people in the world building one of the smartest tools that's ever existed. So don't try and trick Google, because they'll work it out and they'll kick your ass eventually. But all Google's trying to do is see the internet. The internet is so big, even with Google's massive computer power, it can't look at the whole internet all the time. So it sends out these things called spiders that go and crawl all the different websites, work out what they're about, and index them and see what it should rank for. All they're trying to do is filter out the crap. So if you do what Google wants, which is have a good website that loads fast, doesn't have any broken links, the content is good quality, and that you're a legitimate business, that's what Google's looking for. You build that trust, and it's never going to get changed, and it's only ever going to get more valuable. You think of the internet 10 years ago against what it is today. What's it going to be like in 10 years' time? The best time to have been working on your website was 10 years ago. And the second best time is right now.
That's right. Now, for someone that might be starting up right now, maybe they're beginners, maybe they're even current syndicators, and maybe they have the website, maybe they have somebody that the Facebook page, they have all that jazz, right? Everything's set up, but they don't really know what to do. Like, first of all, I think we should probably, I know you've already touched on this. If you're talking directly to those folks, how important is this? That's probably the first question. The second question is, why even bother with all this? Like, why?
If people understood how powerful it was, you'd already be doing it. I promise you that. Like, it's that valuable. It's awesome. That generating traffic to your website is only one part of it. And it doesn't pay the bills. You need to focus on generating clients. That's what really matters. So the thing that a lot of people mistakenly do is they'll have some cute and catchy phrase on the website, and it's like, it doesn't explain to me what you do. Not everyone's an expert at multifamily, or whatever your business is. You need to think about it like a caveman. A caveman needs to come to your website and be able to instantly understand exactly what he's doing. It's called the grunt test. You got like 3 seconds to get that person's attention. And so once they know they're in a safe spot and it's what they're looking for, you need to capture that lead. So if we go back to the example of how to invest $50,000, say someone's searching that, they find your website and it comes up. You have a nice article that how to invest $50,000. Here's a few different ways. Number 5 is multifamily syndication. Boom, that's the best way. So you've got people interested. Now you need to have a call to action. The call to action shouldn't be, hey, jump on a call or hit the buy now button and give me 50K. That's way too aggressive. People don't know you and they don't trust you now. Like, a good example is Amazon. It converts so much better than every other e-commerce website on the planet because everyone knows and trusts Amazon. They don't know you, they don't trust you, and they're not going to buy your stuff right now. So what your call to action should be is one that's a really low barrier. So download our guide here of the 5 biggest mistakes people make when getting started with investing. Give us your email and I'll give you the guide. It's really easy, right? So someone will download the guide and then they're like, wow, this dude really knows what he's talking about. That's a super guide. And that's when you can start indoctrinating them. So you start sending them emails. there's an old saying, the money is in the list, and it really is. The whole purpose of your website is just to get people on that list, and that list is where your money's at. So then you can nurture them, and you can start sending them, hey, listen to me on this podcast. They go, wow, this dude's been on a podcast. How cool is he? Especially if you've got a funny accent, you want to prepare people for when they're going to speak to you. But then you can send them information. Hey, there's an article I wrote, or here's a deal I did, and they start to understand what you do. If you do go to our website, we've got a really cool sales funnel, and it filters out. Like we do our own marketing. It works really good. I can't talk to everyone. I'm not going to waste my time with crappy leads. So we've got a really good sales funnel that filters out the crap. My calendar is full, and we have a really great conversion rate because people understand what we do by the time they speak to me. They've heard me on a podcast like this. They understand what we're going to talk about. They understand that it's going to take some time and it's quite a hefty investment, and they're ready to listen. And so when you show them how it worked, they go, wow, that's great. And that's the power of a really great website and a great sales funnel. You filter out all the crap, so you're left with just people that already understand what you do and that proactively sort you out to speak to you.
Yeah, and I think some of the things you touched on there are absolutely key, especially for people that don't really know is absolutely important. The funnel. It's all about the funnel, right? Amazon, who you talked about a minute ago, Amazon, they spent tons of money and tons of energy developing their funnel, which now it's a foregone conclusion. Whenever you want to buy something, you go straight to Amazon. That's where you go, right? But people forget that in the early years, there's a lot of energy spent to try to get the name of the brand out there to get people to trust it.
That initial customer.
Yeah. So, but in this case, just like you said a second ago, at the very top of the funnel, you're at zero. No one knows who you are, so you have to walk them through the funnel. And I think this is where maybe people get hung up, is that they think that immediately after talking to them, you're just going to get people to commit to investing 100K with you or 50K with you or whatever. It doesn't work that way. You have to get them into your funnel. They got to believe in you. They got to know that you know what you say and you say what you do. And then you have to keep them walking them through the funnel until eventually they'll take you up on that call to action. But it doesn't happen overnight. I think that's, maybe people just don't understand that part, because I think that there's in the journey to become a real estate entrepreneur, there's a heavy part of it is understanding the lingo and knowing how to put a deal together and understanding syndication. But another big part of it is then leveraging all that knowledge to build a great funnel and provide good information, all for free, just to get your name and brand out there, right? And that could be fairly daunting if somebody doesn't know how to set up a funnel. Like, it sounds like you guys do all that, right? It's like a turnkey scenario, I'm guessing.
For sure. I mean, like, we can't just rank a website. If we don't make people money, they don't stick around as a customer. We need to do everything. And generally, as people's businesses grow, they have a lot less time to deal with us. So we just handle absolutely everything for them. But a really common question, when I start working with someone, I'm like, well, where do you want to be? And a lot of people have never even thought about this. So it's, if, say you're a multifamily syndication company, it's like, well, how many investors do you need? Okay, you want to put together $1 million deal. So, 50,000 is the average deal. You need 20 investors, right? Keep it simple. But really, when you go and ask, it's easy enough to ask someone, hey, you want to give me 50K? And they say, yeah. When you ask them to cut a check, they disappear. So rather than like 20 people, you need 200 people. I think that's a pretty good gauge of how many people disappear. So you need to just work backwards, right? Okay, I need 200 people that say yes to my 50K. Okay, then how many people do you need to download your lead magnet to get that? Say maybe 1 in 10. So you need 2,000 people to download your lead magnet. And how many visitors to your website to get someone to download your lead magnet? Let's just say 1 in 10 again. So you need 20,000 people come to your website. But that's a lot of people, and that's a very valuable website. But imagine being able to just raise $1 million anytime you want. Like, how valuable is that?
Right. And I think that's where I think for many, that's probably where the friction comes in, is because there's a lot of upfront work and a lot of upfront expense before you can actually get somebody to throw some money down into your deal. That's probably the biggest part of it, right? Because I imagine it's going to take energy and time to write that download and multiple downloads. You need to download, so you need, I don't even know how many you need. Probably need a lot.
You need
right?
You need a lead magnet, so you need something that they can download, and then you, at the very minimum, you need a nurture campaign. So generally, with a nurture campaign, you want to pound people for the first day. You know, if you've got something like a tripwire product that you want someone to buy, you pound them for the first day because that's when they're ready to go. And if they don't buy right then, now they need more information. So you back off and you give them information, because they're not ready. They didn't buy it. So you be much more gentle and you go, here's some more information about multifamily. And this is why I'm great, and indoctrinate them more. And then you go, hey, now you want to buy? And hopefully they'll say yes.
Right. Now, for someone who maybe they have experience, maybe they have podcasting already down, and maybe they're already putting information out there, but they're not, all they're doing is raising money. They're not really monetizing the effort. What sort of recommendations do you have for them in terms of how to help monetize some of this energy, aside from, of course, the capital raising side? Like, do they do a course? Do they do a weekend, I don't know, webinar or something like that? I mean, how have you seen other people try to help offset the cost of doing all this?
So when I first got into business, I knew nothing about business. I was a software engineer and I screwed up lots of stuff, and it was very challenging. I read a lot of books, and anyone that's starting out, I'd recommend read a lot more books. I smashed through them. 2 books that really changed my business are both by the same author called Mike Michalowicz, and I was also lucky enough to be on his podcast and work with him. And those 2 books are, one is Profit First, about how to always have a profitable business, and man, it's a paradigm shift. It's people that aren't great at money like myself, it's a really great book. And the other one is called Clockwork, which is how to build a business that doesn't revolve around you. I built myself a job, and it sucked. I went from, being a software engineer, getting paid loads of money, being able to just take holidays wherever I want, to going, I got this job where I have to work all the freaking time, and it's really hard, and I can never walk away from it. This sucks. And I'm not perfect at it now, but I just went away for a week. It was great. Took my missus and my family up to the mountains, and business just hummed along without me. It doesn't grow exponentially without me, but it still grows. And the main premise of that book is that stay focused on what you do. Like, we're not an accounting firm, so we hire a profit first accountant to do our books. We're not a payroll firm. We have another accounting firm that does our payroll. What we do is SEO, and we focus on that. If you're in multifamily, you should stick to multifamily. You should not try and do this stuff if you're not a professional, because it is really, really hard.
Oh yeah, no, that much I do know. I mean, I know from firsthand experience when we were first starting out our business, the Bulletproof Cashflow brand, we were trying to do some of this stuff in house. And yeah, I mean, you can go to Fiverr, you can find some people, they can run some ads, but I mean, without having that clear focus and I guess you can say diligence is probably just as important. Hitting that target every single day with your information and also providing value. If that doesn't happen, it's just going to fall by the wayside. It's a waste of money and a waste of time.
Yeah, you really need to build a comprehensive strategy. If you go at it piecemeal, you're just going to burn through money and not get the results. You need to begin with the end in mind. What are you trying to achieve? How many investors do you need in 12 months, and work backwards? What's the conversion rate on each piece of these puzzles? This is how much traffic I need. Great. What are the keywords I need to rank for that? How much content do I need to do? How many backlinks do I need? What are the competition? It's beauty of digital marketing. It's a science. You just follow the principles and it works every single time. But you need to know what they are, and it's tricky.
Yeah. Now, have you heard of people setting up monthly type of webinars, that kind of thing, to try to help offset the cost of marketing? Because I think, and I'm trying to address some of the question marks that many people might have out there. Is like, some people might think, oh, marketing, how do you monetize marketing? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's alleviate that by how do you offset it with maybe trying to come up with some course, or trying to come up with some webinar or something like that. Have you had those people that tried to do that like a monthly webinar to try to bring in some money to help offset the cost of marketing?
I mean, one of our clients that does self-storage investing, he does monthly webinars, but you just need people on your webinar. You need to try and turn those visitors into customers as quickly as possible. Yeah, like building a big valuable website takes time and costs money. But there's always some low hanging fruit. There's always some easy keywords that you can rank for. You don't need to build this mammoth website. And this is why I hate web design companies. They suck. Because they just want to build you a $20,000 website and they'll take your money and go, cool, thank you. Because you didn't know what the purpose of the website was. You just said, I need a website. And so they went, yeah, cool, give me 20K. And that's crap because it's a waste of time. A website's like a business card. It doesn't have to be beautiful. A beautiful website, a beautiful business card might convert better, but you need to get out there and hand it to people. And that's the most important thing. A crappy business card will work if you get out there and hand it to people. That's the same thing. Is a beautiful website will convert better, but any website works as long as it gets in front of people, and that's the main thing. And that's a bit web design companies don't understand. It needs to just clearly say what you do and be in front of the right people. If no one's seeing it, it's not going to do anything. And there's always really low-hanging fruit, really easy keywords to rank for. So work out what those are. There's no point going after like real estate investing or multifamily, one of these massive keywords that has 1 million searches a month. You're not going to rank for it. It's super valuable. The more niche specific you can be. A good example of that is say the keyword smartphone, right? What the hell is someone searching for when they're searching smartphone? I'm sure there's a gazillion searches a month, but even if you rank for that, it's not likely to bring you any business. Where if you rank for the keyword, where to buy a secondhand iPhone 8 on the south side of Chicago, like that's going to be so easy to rank for. And if that's your product, holy cow, like it's going to convert like crazy. You don't need to have 1 million people searching a keyword, especially if you're in real estate, because your deals are worth so much. It's, even if you're a realtor, you get a handful of people, you find those long tail keywords, that are easy to rank for, get in front of those people, sell some deals. It's pretty easy, really.
Yeah. And I think that what many people need to understand too is that, this whole marketing thing, digital marketing thing, it's not going to be cheap, in my opinion anyway. But I think
if it was cheap, and then everyone would do it. If it was cheap and easy, everyone would do it. And then it wouldn't be valuable again. It's hard because it's so valuable.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, I think what many people don't realize is that if you're able to dump in money, like some substantial money into this, it'll blow up your business. I mean, there's guys like Ty Lopez, Gary Vee, Grant Cardone. They've dumped millions of dollars every month into their social media and into their digital marketing. And, they have millions of followers because of it, and they're putting out great content. I mean, they're hitting all the marks, right? They're hitting all the marks. They're putting out great content. They're able to convert these folks into people that are buying their products. I mean, they turned it into a machine. Gary Vee, not so much. I think he just does it just to get his brand out there. But the other guys that spend a high amount of money on their notoriety, it works out very, very well for them. Very well for them. I'm not saying that everybody listening needs to become Grant Cardone, but what I'm saying is if these guys value it that much, they're throwing millions of dollars every month at it, you got to do something. Is the point.
Can I read something out to you? A little while ago, one of my favorite clients, Avery Carl, she's a gun. And another realtor wanted to chat to her, and she did. And she wrote me this email, and she said, I told her I sold 56 million in real estate in 2019, and I sold 158 million in 2020. Hiring you guys and hiring more agents to help with the volume are the only two things I did different. I mean, like, what an awesome testimonial. And she tripled at 300% growth on her business whilst having a baby. Like, what a machine. Wow. And that's the power of a website. And so Avery messaged me a little while ago, and she's like, man, we're like so busy. We're just closing so many deals. Her average deal, I think, is 350K too. They're not big. So 158 million times, wow, at 350K, that is a lot of deals. And she said, our biggest problem now is we don't have enough staff. I said, great. Well, how many realtors do you need? And you just work backwards. It's right. Okay, you need one realtor. Then how many interviews do you need to hire that? Well, 3. Okay, how many good CVs do you need to get those many people? Awesome. Then we just do the keyword research. She works in the Smoky Mountains in Tennessee. So it's real estate jobs, Tennessee, boom, all of our problems are solved.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. There's so many things that you could do. Not only does that work your way back, work with defining your business goals. It works with life too. I mean, it's one of those things that you just figure out what the goal is and just work your way backwards. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do.
A fabulous book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. One of the few books I've read several times. And that's habit number 1, begin with the end in mind.
Yeah, 100%. Now, Kris, if you had a piece of bulletproof advice for someone listening, what would you tell them?
Niche down, man. Niche down and niche as much as you can. When I first got into digital marketing, because you can do it for anyone, right? And all the gurus kept saying, you got to niche down, man. And I'm like, why? We can build websites and rank them for anyone. And we fell into the real estate niche and went, holy cow, we do have clients outside of the real estate niche, and they're a pain in the ass because we have to learn new stuff about them and do different stuff. For example, our luxury realtor in Atlanta, we've got a luxury realtor in Naples in Florida, and it's the exact same thing. It's like you place Naples with Atlanta and you're done. We don't have to learn anything new about their business, or same with multifamily or whatever it is. It's we understand what these people do. It's really easy. So, and once you build up a good reputation, which I'd like to think we have a pretty solid one, it makes it really easy to close deals too. Any realtor that wants to, I just point to Avery and give Avery a call, and they'll call her and Avery go, they're awesome. And you close the deal. So it's niche down as much as you can.
Nice. And then you mentioned in the green room, you mentioned there's a conference or something you have coming up, right?
We work with so many people in real estate that it drove us to put on the Real Estate Masters Summit. I tell you what, this is a whooper. So this is a free, 100% free online summit. Kicks off on May 1st. And man, we got an unbelievable lineup. It's not like a podcast. This is people giving presentations like Avery's walking through exactly how she sold 158 million in real estate. Our host is Tony Potts. He's the host of Access Hollywood. Also hosted the Sundance Film Festival this year, so he's an A-lister. We got Jim Kirkpatrick from CBRE, the vice president of CBRE. My favorite marketer in the world, Donald Miller from StoryBrand. Ira, who's the president at Eastern Union Bank. We got Sam from Real Closers. Tristan from Labco Agents. David Green, who's the co-founder of Bigger Pockets, the biggest real estate platform, and also the KW franchisee of California. He's a super big deal. We got 42 speakers in total, so it's a bucket load of content, and it's 100% free. Kicks off on June 1st, and you can get your free ticket at therealestateMastersSummit.com. Nice.
And we'll put the link in the description too. So guys, definitely check that out. Now, if you do want to reach out to Kris, reach him via his website at ardorseo.com. Don't forget to check out that link too.
Can I add one thing extra?
Sure.
If you go to our website, so ardorseo.com/bulletproof, that's where you'll see a fabulous sales funnel. So you put your details in there, and I'll do a video review for you. So I'll show you exactly how many people are searching for your products and services in whatever niche you are, and show you some simple things that you can change yourself on your website to get it in front of more people and predictably grow your business. And take a look at the sales funnel. We got really nice videos. We got really nice emails. It converts really well, and it filters out the crap. So that's what you need for your website. So go to ardorseo.com/bulletproof.
Excellent. Great. All right, guys. Well, if you want to reach out to Kris, reach out on his website, ardorseo.com. Don't forget to take him up on that offer, man. He's got some great stuff there too. I did check it out earlier, and he's got good material out there. So I hope you got some insight on how you can improve your website, how you can find more investors. All this stuff is absolutely critical. Focusing on your marketing is going to bring in more investors, okay? And you have to do this. If you can't do it, talk to Kris, all right? He'll hook you up. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.
Hey, Agostino here, and I would love to connect directly with you. Text the word books to 202-410-4202 to receive weekly book recommendations from me.